morning. Welcome to Miss Bishop's class. I'm Miss Wolmuth. I am the lucky person to be the art teacher at Dumbarton Elementary School, and I hope you enjoy watching us learn today. All right. Okay, kids. So we know we've been learning about Dia de los Muertos, right? And we have been talking about our sugar skulls and our designs. So today we start on our next step. We've done our drawings, right? Now, when we did our drawings, we drew our sugar skulls. What is something that we need to know our sugar skulls must have? Kennedy? A symmetrical face. Very good. So what's on the left should be? On the right. And what's on the right should be? On the left. Excellent. So we know we have all that, and we are I'm going to show you today how we are going to do our block. Remember, the block is what we carve into for printing, okay? So what we're going to do today is we are going to transfer our design onto our block. So Quentin, may I use your drawing as an example? So Quentin's got his drawing right here. So what he's going to do today is he's going to put it on his block. Remember when we talked about printmaking? We talked about you had to have a surface to put your image on. We're doing relief printing. Relief printing means you have one area that's up and one area that's down. What do you think prints? The area that's up or the area that's down? The area that's down. Up. Very good. The area that's up is what gets the ink put on it, and that's what prints. So Quentin's going to take his image today, and he is going to draw it onto his block. You're going to use a Sharpie. And why we're going to use a Sharpie first is because, do you have a question, Clover?
I was just going to say I've done this in my old school.
Excellent. Then you'll be a pro, and you'll be able to help us out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our marker. Now, what's nice about using the marker first is it doesn't push into the styrofoam. So if you make a mistake, you see my mistake there where I didn't like how I drew the skull and I drew it a little bigger, I just won't draw all over it. I'll just leave it alone. Because your next step will be to go over it with your pencil. So let's draw our teeth in. And remember, we talked about the easy way to draw some teeth was to do some M's and W's. All right, so we're just going to keep it simple like this so you don't have to watch forever. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my pencil and I am going to go over the black parts. Now when I go over the black parts, I am pressing it in. Now here's something that's super important. You don't want to go so deep into it that it's actually cutting through to the other side, because you don't want it to fall out. You want it to stay on there, so when you print, you have your reliefed image, so you have your up and your lower parts. So let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to draw in here. Now when I draw over my black, I drew my black so I know exactly where I want to go. Now what I want to show you is if I go lightly, there's not a very good crevice in there, so I can't really feel it. But if I go a little harder and a little deeper, it's in there and I can feel it. You want to be able to feel where you pushed. Now when you print, it is going to make a mirror image. And what I want to tell us about a mirror image is a reverse. Remember, when we talk about symmetrical, if you touch a mirror, it looks like there's a U, but touching you with the opposite hand, right? Guys, let's back up. Remember, no arms on the table. So it looks like the opposite of you is touching. So let me show you something. So what do you notice about my name there?
It's backwards.
It's backwards. Very good. So I'm going to show you something awesome. So I'm going to take my pencil, and I am going to go over my black parts. Do what?
I couldn't even read it.
Oh, yeah? Do you know there was a famous artist that used to write only backwards so nobody could read his notes?
So if he had a diary of secrets, nobody could read
it? Was Leonardo da Vinci. He wrote everything backwards so nobody could read his notes. He was the first person to invent the helicopter.
So if Kaylee's shirt said SMH backwards, it would be HMS.
Yep, except the S would be in a different direction, right? All right, so remember what... Does anybody remember what this is called?
Oh, a roller. An ink roller.
Okay, no, not an ink pen. Say it with me. Brayer.
Brayer.
All right. Oh, good. Oh, this one's leaking.
She said, Abigail said.
So, now here's our tray. Remember, when we go to print, and I'm just going to print today so you can see how it works. I'm going to squeeze my ink onto my little square. Remember what we talked about with the square? That's where the ink lives. That's where it likes to be.
And if it doesn't, it doesn't want to get out of its house.
Yes, it does not want to get out of its house. It likes living in this little location, right? So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my brayer and I'm going to roll it across. Now, can I get the ink everywhere by just going in one direction?
No. You gotta go to the side.
I got to go up and down, left and right. So watch what I'm going to do though. I'm not just going to roll, I'm also going to pick it up. Do you see how the ink is spreading now? And I'm getting it all over my brayer. This is very important for printmaking because when you print, your brayer needs to be completely coated, and once it is completely coated, then I can go over my block. Yes, Chloe?
I learned that when you hear like sticky part, like when it goes really sticky, that means that.
Yes. So listen, everybody listen. You hear that?
Yes.
That's a good sound. Just like Clover said, that's a sound you want to be able to hear so you know your ink is ready to be rolled on with your brayer. Now, do you see how I'm covering the whole surface of my block? I'm getting the top, I'm getting the bottom, and I'm getting my sides. Notice my brayer stays on my mat, and my mat is where I roll my ink on, okay? So I don't have to worry about getting ink all over the table. All right, I'm gonna use this old paper here. So watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna put this on top. This is my old print. I'm gonna lightly press it down, right? And I'm going to rub it. Remember, we're not beating or pounding on it because you do not want to dent the styrofoam or our block. You're gonna rub it. How many corners does a rectangle have?
4.
How many edges does a rectangle have?
4.
Right, so you gotta get all 4 of those. Top, yeah, massage it. This block has had a bad day, so you need to massage it and let it know that everything's gonna be okay and it's gonna make a beautiful picture. Nope, not smearing it because it doesn't wiggle. You see how that's stuck on there? Ink is nice and thick. All right, you ready for the magic?
Yes.
No, I can recess Wolmuth.
Yeah, so it is a mirror image. Anytime you print with a block, it is going to be the reverse of the image.
At first, when you did it was backwards, but how did it get so
I can't even read the back words.
Yep, so today I'm going to give everybody a Sharpie. I'm going to give everybody a block. Now, there is a front and a back to the block. You can see which one is the block, right? Because it's got a number and a letter, P2 or 2P. So you are going to write your name on that, and you're going to write your teacher's name. And then you are going to draw out your image with the Sharpie. Remember, if you mess up, not a big deal. You just won't go over it with your pencil. Everybody understand what they're doing now? Okay. Write your name on it. Write your teacher's name. Quentin has awesome cursive. All right? Yes, Kennedy. I will come around with pencils. If you need to finish the drawing that you have on your paper, that is totally fine. But you need to have the image drawn and ready to go in the next, like, 7 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
You have some on the board to look at. May you copy an image totally? No, but you can borrow, right? You can borrow from each one if you would like. You see the C? And then you know how to draw a U? Or write a U, right? So I'm going to put a U down here. And then I'm going to make my cheekbones and my cheekbones. Do you see how simple that was? C, U. Okay, you try over here now.
Quentin, didn't you
It's a
already
skull,
do
not a skeleton. Now guys, make sure your skull fills the entire block. No tiny little skulls. Good, see, you went over it, so now you knew you needed it a little bigger. Good. Good job, Alex. Now, yours is all right. It's a little short, but it's okay. Bigger than that, okay?
This and this. And then I did.
Good. When you look up here, where's some other areas that the skull is decorated? On the chin. Okay, where else?
On the cheek.
On the cheeks. So does your chin and your cheeks have any designs? All right. Looks nice. Am I in your way? Guys, when you go over your design with your pencil, take your time. It might even help to make sure your pencil isn't very sharp. So if you want to take your paper and kind of rub the pencil until it's a little dull, I find when the pencil doesn't have a nice tip and it's more round, it carves out the styrofoam better. A little negative space there. So if you feel like this needs more, just add a couple more designs through here and then put that on your block. Because this looks great. Love these eyes. You draw it on there with the Sharpie, like I showed you? Well, how about we make it a little bigger? So we'll just ignore that, and I'll go around it, and we'll just make it a little bigger for you, and then it won't be so squished. Does that look like it helps you out a little bit? It's the exact same thing. So you're just going to ignore this line, okay? But you'll go over everything else with a pencil. Now, remember what I said about the pencil? I want you to take this pencil and kind of make it dull. Tip. And then once you have that, will you look at me, Abigail? You're going to take your pencil and you're going to go into your black lines just like that. Don't go all the way through. Just very lightly, well, not very lightly, a little bit of muscle, press into the block. Okay? Good. Good. Thank you for joining us today in my art room. I'm Miss Wolmuth, and we want to say goodbye from the Dumbarton